Okay, we are live. We are live. What's going on, people? How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? There we go. Right, I need to just get all these tabs closed. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that shit. There we go. We are up to speed. There we go. We're good. We're good. We're good. ABC Def in the chat. How are you doing, sir? How are you doing? Did you enjoy the fights this weekend? I've caught up with pretty much everything now. There's a few things I've not seen. I've not seen a Jagba and Ugas. I need to watch those fights. But apart from that, I'm pretty much all caught up. Also, I didn't see a Akole and who else was there? I think it was Riakporhe and Billum Smith. I need to see those two fights as well. But yeah, a few bits I need to catch up on, but I've caught up on the important stuff. What's up, Tone? How you doing, man? How you doing, Tone? Seymour, what's going on, man? Love and respect to you too, man. ABC Def, great weekend, man. Very good. No, me too, man. I had a good one. I had a good one, and yeah, I enjoyed the fights. I really did. Jagba didn't look good. Okay, I need to see that. I heard he went to points, sorry, and I was a bit surprised about that. I felt Demareason would come to fight, and I felt that he would give it a go early on, but eventually I thought he would walk into too many shots and he would get himself knocked out, but obviously not the case. Obviously not the case. But maybe a Jagba needed that type of fight. Like I said, I still need to see it, but maybe he needed that type of fight. Yo, Shepherd of Sons, what's up, man? How you doing? Let's wait for a few people to get in, and we'll talk some boxing, man. We'll talk some boxing. Okay, C188. Problem with a Jagba is his feet. You'll see it when you watch. Okay, now I'll give it a watch. I'll give it a watch. MDJ, Riakporhe is a poor man's Akole. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I heard his fight with Billum Smith was a bit stop-start, a bit frustrating, a lot of holding. And, you know, he showed signs of that against Sam Hyde, to be honest. But he's a powerful guy. He's got real power. And he's a big unit. He's very strong, but I like the guy outside the ring, but I can't really see him getting beyond domestic level, if I'm being honest. Can't really see him going beyond that level. I saw a few people say that they felt Billum Smith won as well. So, yeah, I need to see that one. Yeah, what's up, Lewis? How you doing, man? Okay, ABC, Riakporhe didn't look great. A lot of hugging, and he got pretty lucky. Okay. Close fight then. Okay. Again, I've heard that fight was terrible, so don't really want to go and watch it, but I suppose I should, to be honest. It's one of those ones. Oh, yeah, ABC. Man, Spilker got sent to somewhere else. He got sent to another dimension. Knocked out cold. That was a beautiful knockout, by the way. It was a lovely knockout by Chisora. Love how he set it up, went to the body, came upstairs. Just a really nice knockout from Chisora. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Guilty Simpson, after Lopez's showing against Nakatani, does Kome beat him? To be honest with you, I said before that fight, Kome is no joke, and there's every chance he could knock out Teofimo given his style. And I just feel even more strongly. I feel more that way. I feel more confident now that maybe I'd make Comey a favourite in that fight. I felt at times Lopez, he struggled with the height and reach of Nakatani. He struggled to gauge the distance, but I felt he did just about enough to get the win. But I felt it was very close. I felt it was a lot closer than those cards had it. To be quite honest, I felt it was fairly evenly contested. And Teofimo, to me, looked a bit workmanlike. He looked a bit laboured, and there wasn't much variety in his work. But yeah, I believe Comey is a really, really tough fight for Teofimo Lopez. And if I'm being honest, based on that performance, is Lopez even ready for Comey? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. Nakatani really didn't have the power to hurt Lopez. Comey does. He's got power in both hands. He's big, physically very strong. Comey's a different proposition, and that's a very hard fight. It's a very hard fight for Teofimo Lopez. And it's one now I really want to see. I'll be honest, I really want to see it. Shepard had Lopez losing. Yeah, I felt it was a lot closer than the cards had it. I felt it was very even at times. I felt it was very even. And by the way, lads, who would you now make favourite in that fight, Comey or Lopez? Who are you picking in that fight? I'm going with Comey. I can't lie. I'm going with Comey. Oh, and by the way, on that card, Maxim Dadashev, he lost his fight by a late round TKO against Subriel Matias. And after that fight, he was taken to hospital, not in a good way. Had a part of the right side of his skull removed to ease brain swelling, and yeah, he's not in a great way right now. So fingers crossed he can make a recovery like Adonis Stevenson. But the early signs are it's not good. So there's a report on Russia Today from 2 hours ago saying that Dadashev is showing severe signs of brain damage in his coma. So listen, man, fingers crossed that he pulls through. But man, it's not looking too positive for Maxim Dadashev. So listen, man, it was a really enjoyable weekend of fights, but at the same time, that really does kind of put a dampener on it for me. We all talk a bit of shit sometimes, and sometimes we're critical of fighters, but nobody really wants to see that. But there we go. It's one of those things. It's one of those things, man. And yeah, ABC Death, Dadashev, far too tough for his own good. Far too tough. It's a shame. It really is a shame. Guilty Simpson. Comey has a hell of a chin. He does. He proved that against Beltran. Guilty Simpson, he says, I think Comey stops him in a war. Unrivaled. Dell, what did I say about Lopez? Yeah, you weren't on the hype train. And you always favoured Comey to beat him as well, to be fair. Yeah, Shepherd of Sons, I agree. Very brutal. It was a good fight. It was a really good fight. But, we just hope that Dadashev recovers and, goes on to live a normal life. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. 54 Trail Swan, what's on next week? Hooker versus Ramirez, sir. That's a tremendous fight. Brilliant fight. Unfortunately, I've double booked myself. I'm out next weekend on Saturday, so I can't do a live reaction to it. I would have loved to have done a live stream with it, but it can't be done. So post fight video on Sunday for that one. But yeah, that's a beautiful fight. That's it. That's a beautiful fight. Maurice Hooker, Jose Ramirez. Listen, I'm picking Ramirez by a close points win, but I'm not confident. Wouldn't be surprised to see Hooker pull it out and maybe stop Ramirez. But if it goes to points, I just can't see Ramirez losing. To be honest with you, I can't see Ramirez losing on points. I think his output could be a bit too much, and on the inside, I believe he will get the better of it because even in the fight with Alex Saucedo, when Saucedo got up close to Hooker, he was actually having a lot of success, and on the inside, he was getting the better of it. It was when Hooker had him on the end of his shots. That's when Saucedo was taking damage. I think I think Ramirez is a lot more. He's a lot more adept to getting on the inside than Saucedo. Ramirez is a lot. He's a lot better than Saucedo. So I'm taking Ramirez, but I'm not really that confident. I'll be honest. Yeah, that's the only thing. Adam Steele, Hooker's on home turf, and as Unrivaled said, home network. Yeah. Oh, Unrivaled's got Hooker, even though Ramirez is his favorite fighter. Yeah, I know you like Ramirez. I like Ramirez, man. He's a very good fighter to watch. Very good fighter to watch. MDJ, I think there could be some dodgy scorecards with this one. It could happen. It could happen. Fingers crossed it's a fair fight and, the right man wins. I'll be honest with you. I would like Hooker to win. He's really grown on me in the last 12 months or so. But yeah, I'm leaning towards Ramirez in that one. Should be a good fight though. Should be a really good fight. What's on the undercard of that fight? I think Tevin Farmer's on the undercard. Tevin Farmer versus Frenoir, I believe. Let me have a look. Tevin Farmer. There we go, yeah. Tevin Farmer versus Frenoir. That's on the undercard. That's not a terrible fight, but at the end of the day, we want to see Tevin Farmer really step up now. We want to see him step up and fight elite guys in that division. It's not happening right now. But what can we say? He's staying active, I guess. That's one good thing, I suppose. Let me get to this card. So yeah, Ramirez, Hooker, Farmer, Frenoir, Tremaine Williams versus Unifel Vincente. Yelusinov is on that card. It's an okay card. Also, next weekend, we have Gervonta Davis versus Ricardo Nunes. I'm sure we're all looking forward to that fight. And on the undercard, we're getting in our time machine. We're going back to 2010, and we are going to watch Yuriorkis Gamboa versus Roman Martinez. That fight is on the undercard of Gervonta Davis versus Ricardo Nunes. But there we go. Yeah, not too much next weekend. Well, we've got a good fight next weekend, but the Gervonta Davis card, isn't that good. Omnisurge Media, what's going on, man? Yeah, unrivaled. Hooker's reach is crazy. Insane. Yeah, unrivaled. And yeah, if Ramirez gets caught at the end of Hooker's punches, how's he going to respond? I think Ramirez has a good chin, but Hooker can punch and he's active. So can he deal with that accumulation? I don't think he's getting knocked out in one shot. I think Ramirez, his chin is too good for that. But we'll see. We'll see. Shepherd of Sons, I thought Ramirez lost his last fight. I'm hoping Hooker wins so he can feed his 8 kids. Yeah, the last fight with Ramirez I felt was very close against Zepeda, the Southpaw. Zepeda's like one of these underrated fighters. You hear a lot of good things about him in the gym. I know he done a lot of work in the Mayweather gym, and I heard good things about him for years. And I think he's one of those fighters not many people are aware of, but he's real quality. And it was a very close fight. Could have gone either way. I felt Ramirez just about nicked it, but that's just my opinion. Unrivaled Boxing Talk and News, Farmer UD, I agree. But ABC, I do agree with you as well. Frenoir could make Tevin look bad. Yeah, he could make him look a bit ordinary. Frenoir, he's a good rangy boxer. He's fairly awkward. He's got nice movement. I believe he's going to lose most of the rounds, but yeah, I think Tevin Farmer might look a bit ordinary in this fight. Yeah, on Shepherd of Suns, Hooker has squid arms. Yeah, exactly. Adam Steele here agrees with Shepherd of Suns. Ramirez pretty much lost to Zepeda. ABC Def, Hooker better make weight easily this time instead of looking like a corpse. Yeah, in his last fight against the French Canadian dude, was he French Canadian or was he American? But anyway, in his last fight, yeah, he looked terrible at the weigh-in. He looked terrible. Yeah, Omni Surge Media, Gervonta Davis versus Yuriorkis Gamboa next year, next fight. Sorry, that would be disappointing. But that is Gervonta Davis's career right now, going nowhere. His talent is being wasted. You know, his talent's being wasted, and it annoys me. I made a video about it a little while back, and some people felt I was hating for the sake of hating. But listen, I'm only so critical of Gervonta Davis because I expect so much more from him, because I rate him very highly. I think the guy is an outstanding talent, and he's not making the most of it right now. And listen, I hold him to a higher standard than I do, for example, Tevin Farmer, a guy in the same division. Tevin Farmer, his career right now isn't really going anywhere apart from staying active, and his competition hasn't been great. But I give Gervonta Davis more criticism because I just see him as a higher level fighter, a more talented guy, a guy with great potential, and he's just not realizing it. It's because I rate him that I'm so critical. But a lot of people don't get that. It is what it is. What can we say? Unrivaled boxing talk and news. If Renoir got robbed against John O'Carroll, he's got no hope versus Telescope. Jesus Christ. Christ. Yo, Seymour, you are forgetting Lucas Brown versus Tom Little. Yeah. I mean, that could be a fun fight. It's a bit of a banter fight. Shall I make a little preview for it? I might do. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Jezreel Corrales, former super featherweight champion. Yeah, he's fighting Ladarius Miller on that card. That's okay. That's not a bad fight. Jezreel Corrales, he's not really fought anybody since he's moved up to lightweight. Miller's like one of those domestic lightweights in the US. It's a good little yardstick for Corrales, and it will tell us where he's at right now. So that's a decent little fight. Yeah, MDJ, Lucas Brown and Tom Little. Yeah, you wouldn't argue with those guys at a club, would you? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, they'd definitely make good bouncers. Ah, 54 Trail Swan. I've not seen it. Neary versus Payano. Not seen it. I forgot about that fight. Yeah, I forgot about that fight. I need to go and watch it. Unrivaled boxing talk and news. Imagine Hooker versus Prograis for Undisputed or Taylor versus Ramirez. Yeah, exactly, man. They're beautiful fights. They are beautiful fights. However it pans out, man, I'm stoked. Okay, Unrivaled says Neary was shit. Inoue kills for Steadhead. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I like Neary. I've always rated him, but yeah, I need to check out his last performance. I need to check out his last performance. ABC Def, Hooker versus Prograis for Undisputed is a mad fight. McGregor, yeah, man, that would be a brutal fight. I couldn't see that one going the distance. I would favor Prograis in that one, but that is a great fight. Yeah, Adam Steele, Toriano Johnson beat up Quigley, opened as a 10-1 underdog. I said on my stream the night of the fight, if Johnson had anything left, he would give Quigley hell. But Johnson hasn't been looking good for quite some time. But he still has something left, obviously. And yeah, Quigley got bashed up. Fair play to him. Fair play to Johnson. ABC Def, I can't see Taylor beating Regis, to be honest. It's a very tough fight. It's a very tough fight. And what about Matthias, by the way? Obviously, his fight was, it wasn't great with what happened to Dadashev, but Matthias looks like a real, a real talent, a real dangerous guy in that division. Don't rule him out. Don't rule him out. Okay, Lewis Hurley, he kind of agrees with ABC. Yeah, I think Regis could pick Taylor apart. Yeah, it could happen. It could happen. Yeah, Boundless. Yeah, it's just it was a really good fight, man, but it got marred with obviously what happened, and hopefully Dadashev makes a recovery. But yeah, the latest news isn't particularly good. So fingers crossed, fingers crossed he can make a recovery. Shepherd of Suns, how was the silent disco thing? Did you return with both kidneys? Yeah, I did. It was actually amazing. It was really good. It surprised me. It was a really good night out. Really good night out. Thoroughly enjoyable. I could have pulled, but like I kind of didn't bottle it per se. But I just weren't. I just weren't with it, man. I weren't feeling it. The chick I was with, like she was like, not for me, not for me, and I couldn't go through with it, to be honest. So we left empty-handed. That's the only bad thing. But yeah, it was a good night. It was a really good night. Really good night. Yeah, Xavier. Yeah, Matthias. Yeah, he's ended Dedashev's career. Yeah, Shepherd of Suns nearing needs to move up. I would agree. He is a massive guy for that weight. He's huge, really big dude, man. And obviously, he struggled with weight in the past. He tested positive for clenbuterol, which is obviously a you can use it to try and make weight. So yeah, that guy really struggles with weight, and moving up might be a good idea. Boundless boxing talk. I was actually going to put a video out. Matthias is a beast, and I'm not surprised at all he won. Crazy fighter. But yeah, very sad to see what happened to Dadashev. But I was impressed with Matthias. I was impressed. That's the first time I've actually seen him in the flesh. I've seen his highlights before that fight, but yeah, that's the first time I've seen hit one of his fights in its entirety, and I was impressed. He's a problem. He was a problem. Yeah, Boundless. I saw that on Turiana Johnson. Yeah, ABC Def Neary should fight Rigondeaux. I'd watch that. I wouldn't have any problem with that fight. 54 Trail Swan. He says Rigondeaux has no legs left, all reflexes left. He's waiting to get knocked out. I think I agree. I think his legs have gone. His reactions aren't quite what they were. And I believe that's what that last fight showed. I don't believe that Rigondeaux stood in the pocket to prove to critics that he's an entertaining fighter and he can take it. I don't believe that. I really don't. I just believe he had to fight that way because that's the only way he can fight now due to his age. But we'll see in his next fight, I guess. We'll see. Lads, if you could smash the like button, that would be greatly appreciated. Apparently, it helps the stream. That's what all the popular YouTubers say. But now, if you could smash a like, be much appreciated. Shepherd of Suns, Matthias is Taylor's Mando now. I'm not sure actually. Okay, that'd be a very good fight. Matthias versus the winner of Prograis Taylor. Man, from what Matthias showed last time out, give me that fight. It's a very good fight. Omnisurge Media, Taylor versus Prograis, 50-50 in my opinion. Yeah, I see it as 50-50. If I had a gun to my head or I had to bet all my money on one guy, I would probably favour Prograis, but by like the narrowest of margins. The narrowest of margins. Not confident at all. Okay, unrivaled. So yeah, Matthias is Mando now for Taylor. Yeah, that'd be a great fight. Yeah, that dude's a problem. That dude is a problem. Very heavy-handed. Boundless boxing talk. I could see Matthias being promoted by somebody else and them going another path, though. Yeah, it could happen. He's now a bit of a hot prospect. He's a bit of a commodity. So, there's something there. There's something there. Where's Matthias from, by the way? Is he from Puerto Rico? He's Puerto Rican, isn't he? Yeah, he is Puerto Rican. Okay, they might have a new star there. Puerto Rico. Interesting. 54 Trail Swan. Manny Pacquiao should retire now. He'll go down as a top 10 of all time. Do you know what? I said that in my post-fight video. I thoroughly enjoyed Manny Pacquiao's performance. I felt in the first 6 rounds, he was almost styling on Keith Thurman. There were shades of the old Manny Pacquiao, and it was a joy to watch. It really was. He was beating Keith Thurman up. He was letting go of his hands. He was hurting Keith Thurman. It was beautiful. And in the second half of the fight, Thurman came on strong, but Pacquiao held out, fired back, hurt Thurman to the body, and gritted it out to win a decision. It was a great performance from Manny Pacquiao. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And it would be a great way to bow out. It really would. Because, boxing, when it comes to these all-time greats and Hall of Famers, a lot of these guys at the end of their careers, boxing retires them instead of them retiring from boxing. And eventually Manny Pacquiao has to get old, and eventually he's going to lose to somebody that he would have washed in his prime. I mean, it's already happened with Jeff Horn. I know that decision was bogus, but still, he'd have wiped that dude out a few years ago. But yeah, I would like to see Manny retire. But at the same time, if he fights like that, he's going to give all of these guys problems, including Errol Spence, including Terence Crawford. He'll give these guys problems. Would I pick him to beat those guys? No, but I didn't pick him to beat Keith Thurman. So there we go. But yeah, I do agree, 54 Trail Swan. I believe he should retire. And what did you guys make of Pacquiao's performance? Did you enjoy it as much as I did? I saw that fight knowing the result. And usually that ruins a fight for me. I love to see it live first. But I still really enjoyed that fight. I really enjoyed Pacquiao's performance. And to be fair to Keith Thurman, one thing I got wrong in my prediction, I felt that when he got caught, he would be on the run and he wouldn't want to know. But to be fair to Keith Thurman, he came to have a tear up. He came to have a war. He got hurt a couple of times. He got dropped. He got bloodied. But he stayed strong. So fair play to Keith Thurman for also playing his part in a really good fight. But yeah, tell me how you guys felt about that fight. I'm a bit far behind in the chat. Yeah, I'm really far behind in the chat. Fuck me. Xavier, he says, I think Matthias's pressure and power could be too much for Taylor. Yeah, no, I agree. It could be. It could be. Taylor, he likes to have a war himself, and he does get hit. Likes to sit in the pocket, work the body, and stylistically, Taylor and Matthias, it should make for a really, really good fight. It should make for a great fight, and maybe Matthias would be too hard of a puncher for Josh Taylor, or maybe Taylor's experience, his body work could prove him to win the fight. It's a beautiful fight. It's a beautiful fight. Levi Khan, did you see Tyrone James knocked out Ray Oliveira Jr. in the second round? A great win for James. What a prospect. No, I've not seen that. I need to see that. It's on YouTube, Levi. Levi Khan, love seeing Ugas easily beat Figueroa. Told you guys Omar was cooked. Ugas plus Gerald Washington, and I'm up about 2 years' rent in the last 2 weeks. Beautiful. Yeah, I had Ugas to beat Figueroa. To be honest, I had him on points, and I wasn't really that surprised with the outcome. I felt no, I'll be honest. I felt Figueroa would be more competitive, especially down the stretch. But Ugas boxed a really good fight. LDBC facts: does Rivas his loss prove that Makhmudov will struggle? Power, but very little finesse. Got jabbed all night. Yeah, potentially, potentially. Makhmudov is more physical than Oscar Rivas. He's a bigger dude. And, I actually believe maybe he's a bigger puncher, but you are right. There's not much finesse with Makhmudov. You would like to see Makhmudov add a jab, maybe a nice tight high guard as he comes forwards. Nothing crazy, but like nice little adjustments, nice improvements to his game. But, right now, we're not really seeing those things implemented. Maybe when he steps up, he will add a few more things to his game. We'll see. We'll see. Makhmudov, I mean, ultimately the guy's a massive puncher. He's a big lump. On his day, he could knock anybody out, I suppose. Lewis Hurley, how good of a chance do you give Chisora against Parker? I think he's got a great chance. It's a fight he'll be very game for. Yeah, he'll certainly be motivated. And listen, we can question Chisora's ability and his limitations. We can talk about that, but one thing we can't question is his heart, his desire, and his will to win. And he's more of a natural fighter than Joseph Parker. And if he can drag Parker into that type of fight where it's rough and tumble and it's a bit of a war, maybe he'll come out on top. It's a very good fight. I would love to see that fight. I would love to see Rivas versus Chisora. I think that would be a beautiful fight. Brutal fight. Yeah, Chisora, man, he got a lovely knockout on the weekend. Boundless Boxing talking the chat with a real good shout. A very good step up fight would be Matthias for a very good step up fight for Matthias would be Postal. I totally agree. I think that would be a very good fight for him. Very good fight. That's actually a really good shout. Yeah, ABC, he agrees. Boundless Boxing talk. Yeah, that is a very good fight. Yeah, Levi Khan, Manny Pacquiao, oldest welterweight champion of all time. Still making history, man. Still making history. Yeah, okay, yeah, Puerto Rico, Matthias, yeah, Puerto Rican. ABC Death, I'm going to crucify him. Keith, I've lost one time, Thurman. Beautiful. uh, yeah, Boundless Boxing talk. That's a really, really good point. I hope Matthias hurting Dadashev doesn't ruin Matthias's career, if you know what I mean. Example, Mike Perez. Yeah, when Mike Perez hurt Abdul Salamov, for me, he never really looked like the same guy. And also when years ago, when Chris Eubank hurt Michael Watson, he was never really the same guy. Never really had that edge to him where he would finish fights. Just took something out of his game. And that can happen to fighters. It definitely can. Yo, Triple J in the chat. What's going on, man? I see you down there. I see you down there. I still got a lot to get through here. Coinblatter, I don't know why people keep saying the Horn fight was a robbery. I felt Horn won it quite clearly, and I like Pacquiao a lot. Do you know what? I just felt I felt Manny landed the clearer, more effective punches. He hurt Horn badly towards the end of that fight. To me, a lot of Horn's success came from illegal tactics. You know, using the head, um, just being very dirty. And in way of clean punches, he didn't land as many as Pacquiao did, as far as I was concerned. But it was a tough fight for Pacquiao, very physical fight. But in terms of effective punches landed, I felt Pacquiao done the better work, to be honest. But it was a tough fight though. Yeah, Omnisurge Media, Pacquiao Thurman was a very good fight. Very good fight. ABC Def Dan Aziz looked brilliant this weekend. Yeah, he smashed up Charlie Duffield. He looks quite good. Copendo9, I know Manny dropped Hatton with a right hook, but I've never rated Manny's right hand, especially as a power punch. It's a bit embarrassing for Keith to be dropped by it. Yeah, he was caught going backwards, man, and the punch just knocked him down. Bit of a flash knockdown, but you know, it was a nice shot. It was a nice shot. Omnisurge Media, War Chisora has a great chance against any heavyweight. Yo, it's crazy that Chisora is still operating at a good level, considering the career he's had. He's been involved in some really hard fights. He's been on the end of a few beatings now, and he's still fighting at a good level. You know, he's still fighting at a good level. And believe it or not, Chisora these days, he's got a better punch technique now. He's hitting harder. If you watch Chisora way back in the day, he used to slap a lot, like a lot. But these days, he's turning over on his shots, and he's clearly hitting a lot harder for it. You know, he's tightened up his punch technique recently. I mean, Chisora of like 2011, 2012, he would have never knocked out someone like Carlos Takam, never. And I saw people, you know, in the past 12 months speculate maybe Chisora was using something. Maybe he is, but his punch technique has got a lot better in recent times, in my opinion. Shepherd of Suns, are you going to talk about Dazzling Dave? I mean, I think somebody in the chat mentioned it earlier, or maybe on my one of my videos. Dave Allen made David Price look like a prime Larry Holmes. You know, David Price was styling, popping that jab, timing Dave Allen with that lovely right uppercut. It was a great boxing display from David Price, and he had it all his own way. He was composed, he was in control, and he pretty much won every round. Some of the variety from David Price was quite nice. You know, he was throwing some really good shots, and he schooled Dave Allen, put a beating on him, and made him quit in his corner. Great performance from David Price, but Dave Allen was appalling. Let's be honest about it. Coming in with his hands low, getting his face jabbed off. I'm not sure what the game plan was, to be honest with you. But yeah, Dazzling Dave is dazzling no more, and you know, Plumber Price, he can certainly go again. So we'll definitely see where Price goes from here. I would like to see David Price fight maybe Daniel Dubois. I know, listen, chances are Price is getting knocked out, but you know, it's still a good risky fight for Dubois. So it's a decent fight. Yeah, ABC, I totally agree. Chisora will give Joe Parker a rough ass fight. Yeah, I agree. Darren Newton, what's up, man? What's up, Darren? Great fight for the AJ Ruiz undercard, although could headline a Saturday night fight night. Yeah, exactly. Either or. It's a good sort of co-main event for a pay-per-view, or alternatively, it's a great Sky Sports regular show main event. 54 Trail Swan. Shizura is washed up. Spilka got dropped by Whack. He could be, man, but listen, he seems to be fighting with a lot of intensity, and he's still got the hunger. He can be involved in some good fights at a certain level, no doubt about it. ABC Def, lol, Dell, I told you Alan would lose because he had another fight lined up. You did. I'm pleased he lost, though, because first and foremost, I've got to be honest, the whole Dave Allen story is a bit annoying now. And not only that, I didn't want to see Dave Allen fight Povetkin. That would have been brutal. Yeah, that would have been crazy. I'm still shocked they were even considering that fight. That they even felt it was a, you know, possibility. I don't know, man. Cop in '09, I've not seen either fight, but I've heard Riakporhe didn't look too good. Not sure about Akole. Yeah, Levi Kana saw Gassiev is off the Hooker Ramirez card. Yeah, disappointing. Mr. Alvo, Horn TBE. Horn TBE. Horn pound for pound number one. Okay, Unrivaled thinks Riakporhe lost to Billum Smith. Okay, I need to go and see that fight. I do. Lewis Hurley, he says, I hope Porter bashes Spence up a bit. Somebody needs to. Do you know what? Errol Spence on the come up, I used to really like him. I used to like the way he spoke. I used to like, what he was about. And I love watching him fight. And, going to England to beat Kell Brook, all good. Great look. But since he's won that title, he's become a bit of a diva, to be honest with you. He's just as guilty as playing the game as any of these other fighters. And listen, man, I was I'm just a bit disappointed with Errol Spence. Having said that, listen, he's fighting Sean Porter, and that's a good fight. It's a unification fight. So listen, I'm not getting too down on the guy, but how he handled that Terence Crawford situation was a bit embarrassing, in my opinion. And it just made me lose a lot of time for Errol Spence. Oh, you're on the wrong side of the street. Do one, man. Don't want to hear that. Even if that's the case, don't say that in public. Makes you look really, really like just weak, I guess. It's not a good look. Levi Khan, don't even go there, man. Kell Brook versus Amir Khan next. Nah, I think that ship's long sailed. I hope Amir Khan gets his money in Saudi. And as for Kell Brook, man, I mean, fight somebody else. Fight Terence Crawford, someone like that. These guys have had their chances. At least Amir Khan has a good resume to fall back on. Kell Brook's done nothing apart from chase Amir Khan for years, you know? ABC Def and Levi Khan are talking about Caleb Plant versus Mike Lee. Yo, Mike Lee was atrocious. Do you know who that dude reminded me of? He reminded me of Cletus Seldin. Every time that dude got touched, man, he was getting hit. He was getting hit flush. He was getting dropped multiple times. It was just such a one-sided fight. And, Mike Lee, he must have been fighting some cream puffs to have had an unbeaten record like that. So limited, so basic. And, he made Plant look like $1 million, in all honesty. But as for Caleb Plant, I think he's a very good fighter. I do. I think he's a really sharp boxer. But we need to see more. The Uskatigi fight was a really good performance. Even his fight with Porky Medina was a good performance. But I guess that was a showcase fight. Hopefully now he steps up and fights the winner of Benavidez and Durrell. That's what I would like to see next from Caleb Plant. Another really good fight from a purist point of view, Billy Joe Saunders versus Caleb Plant. I would like to see that. Yeah, exactly unrivaled. Chisora looking like the haymaker, knocking man out. Jesus. Yeah, ABC Def. No, you're right. Matthias did actually he put a beating on Dadashev. He did. Lewis Hurley in the chat. David High Tech Price. Yeah, man, he was high tech in that fight, popping that jab, moving nicely, clinching Allen when he got close, even working on the inside at times, landing that right uppercut. You know, he schooled Dave Allen. He schooled Dave Allen. Mr. Alvo, Spence is the third Charlo for real. Yeah, maybe their behaviour has rubbed off on Errol Spence. Shepherd of Sons, Dave homeowner Allen. Levi Khan. So hang on. Christopher Lodarchik versus Steve Cunningham next. Decent old cruiserweight fight. Are you sure? Are they actually fighting again? They can't be fighting again. Let me have a look at this. If so, that's crazy. Didn't even know Steve Cunningham was still active. One second, lads. Not seen it on BoxRec. Unrivaled boxing talk and news. He's beaten Sokolovsky, Little, and now Allen, and should get a British title shot in regards to David Price. Yeah, I agree. I would like to see David Price versus Daniel Dubois. I think that's a good fight. Oh, what people fucking smashing me up on WhatsApp now? Fuck off. Darren Newton. Kovalev Yard fight will be going under the radar. No press conference and poor promotion so far. Could be an easy UD for Kovalev. I think Kovalev is going to box around Yard. To be honest with you, a lot of people are talking about Yard's hand speed and explosive power, which he does have, but Yard's feet are very slow. And I could see Kovalev just keeping it at range behind that jab and boxing around Yard like he boxed against Elidia Alvarez in the rematch. But unlike Alvarez, I wouldn't expect Yard to see the distance. I think he would get walked into too many right hands and eventually he'll get knocked out. But, you know, Yard has a punchless chance. He does. He's got a punchless chance. Shepherd of Sons, Dell versus Spence on the zone. Yeah, Spence is another guy that just kind of rubs me up the wrong way at times. Yeah, exactly unrivaled. Mike Lee 17-0. His opponents must have been poor. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Shepherd of Sons. Yeah, Mike Lee. He doesn't even look like a boxer. He looks like a fucking golfer or something. C188. Mike Lee wasn't even British level. I agree. He plied his trade at light heavyweight previously in his career. Would Mike Lee beat Dan Aziz? Honestly, well, Dan Aziz going into that fight was 6-0 with one draw, I believe. I don't think Mike Lee would beat Dan Aziz. And Dan Aziz has just won the area title, Southern Area title. I honestly don't believe he would have beat Dan Aziz. Mike Lee he's such a poor opponent. ABC Def. Lerone Richards at this stage would probably beat Mike Leverbum. I actually quite like Lerone Richards. You know, not the most entertaining guy out there, but he shows signs of real quality. We saw that against Tommy Langford. I'd like to see Lerone Richards fight Daryl Williams next. Daryl Williams obviously got robbed against Zach Parker. I think Lerone Richards versus Daryl Williams is a really good fight. Yeah, Coin Blaster, man. I saw that Errol Spence in the high in some pound for pound lists above guys like Usyk. Exactly, that's a joke, absolute joke. Yeah, Ricardo, I can see that. You know, Chisora might be on Peds. I am suspicious when somebody gains power so late in their career. I can see that argument. My thing with it is, it just looks like he's tidied up his punch technique now, and he's turning over on his shots. And I think that could be a reason why he's punching harder. Alternatively, you know, could be also due to other other means. Let's just say that, you know. Yeah, exactly. ABC Plant versus Saunders, very good fight, technical fight. I would enjoy it. I would enjoy it. It's one of those fights where this is how I describe those type of fights. Watching it live is, for me anyway, is super enthralling. I like those type of fights. I'm not trying to be like a boxing hipster or anything like that. I really like those fights live, but I would never watch that fight again, if that makes sense. And if I knew the result to that fight, I would struggle to watch it. That's how I can best describe those type of fights. But I do like them. C188, David Price having an Indian summer. He is indeed. David Itch, Nomas Pricekovich. uh, Unrivaled boxing talk and news. David Eck, Nomas Pricechenko. Jesus Christ. David Shades of Loma Price. Oh my god. Yo, Levi Khan, are you serious? Malik Scott versus Povetkin, also rumoured for the Lomachenko Campbell undercard. Jesus Christ. Not Malik Scott. Surely Eddie Hearn realized, like, he must have learnt his lesson from that bloody Ortiz fight in Monaco. Crazy. I'll tell you what, actually, Povetkin, speaking of Povetkin, a fight I would love to see him in, Povetkin versus Rivas. That'd be a barn burner. I'd pick Povetkin, but Povetkin now is past his best. And Rivas is a big old boy. He's a big, well, not a big guy, but he's a massive puncher. Really stocky, you know, power puncher. I think Rivas versus Povetkin would be a really good fight. As he Price has a better shoulder roll than Mayweather. Yes, he does. He was actually pulling it off against Dave Allen. You know, rolling with the shoulder, taking Allen's shots on his shoulder, deflecting them. Beautiful stuff, man. Beautiful stuff. Levi Khan, David Sweet Pea Price. Yeah, yeah. Rest in peace to Purnell, man. Rest in peace to Purnell. Omnisurge Media. Lee was actually 21-0. Jesus Christ. That's insane. Heard Tunde wrote over 3,000 books on boxing. That's a lot of books. Do you know what? Tunde Ajayi. Listen, I mean, the guy's a bit of a troll, but I like his energy. I think I mentioned it in the last stream. But the guy does have a real positive outlook. And I don't think there's any harm to him. I think he's an all right guy. He's just got his way of doing things, I guess. And I think a lot of his act is just an act. I think it's like a public persona, to be honest with you. But Tunde's okay. Joe Blow, Mike Subway commercial Lee. Oh Christ. Yeah, he was awful, man. Awful. Sugar David Price. Christ. Yeah, OmniSurge Media, yeah. Lee was like one of those backyard fighters on YouTube that went viral in 2008. Yeah, like Kimbo Slice and that, exactly. Yeah, he was so crude, man, so crude. David only know the Oro price. Fucking hell. Ah, Jesus. Coppin09, Spence versus Manny for the first 3 rounds are vital for Spence. Manny's speed may surprise him before he has time to make any adjustments. Spence will need to use his height and reach from the jump. I agree. I agree. You know, I think, yeah, it's that's a good. I'm a lot. I'll tell you this much. I'm a lot more interested in that fight now than I was a couple of days ago. Put it that way. You know, Manny Pacquiao in the first 6 rounds would give any of these guys hell. You know, Terence Crawford, Errol Spence. You know, that Manny would give these guys hell, but he did kind of tail off towards the second half of the fight. But yeah, Darren Newton, Eubank Jr. versus John Ryder, decent 50-50. It's a good fight. I would favour Eubank Jr., but John Ryder right now is coming off the best form of his career. He's punching hard. You know, he's seems to be improving. He's coming off good momentum. It's a good fight. Both guys are actually basically middleweights fighting at 168. Eubank Jr. for me, not really a big super middleweight. Same with John Ryder. Good fight. I like it. David Maestro Price. Unrivaled boxing talk and news. Caleb Plant beats Billy Joe Saunders. Wouldn't be surprised. I don't think Billy Joe is quite the same fighter at 168, to be honest with you. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Plant beats Billy. No, Cophead, I've not seen it. Anybody see the pic of Brooke over the weekend in the gym? Looked close to 200 pounds. Jesus Christ. Fucking hell, ABC Def. David Manos de Piedra Price. Shepherd of Sons, David the Bronze Bomber Price. Jesus. MB, he says Dell. Hang on, I've lost it. MB. Where's MB gone? Dell, do yourself a favour. Do yourself a favour. Don't waste 35 minutes of your life on Riakpor versus Billum Smith. Yeah, I heard it was a bad fight. Unrivaled boxing talk and news. Kel eats his own brownies, Brooke. Christ. Levi Khan, are you serious? Hasim Rahman Jr. versus Chaz Witherspoon. And is it scheduled? That can't be right. That's a massive step up. I know Chaz Witherspoon isn't great, but that's a huge step up. Chaz Witherspoon Jr. Is it actually scheduled? If so, that's a massive step up. Anyway, 1 second. Let me just get rid of this garbage. David the Hitman Price. He looked like a hitman with that jab. You know, that jab couldn't miss the target. Beautiful shot. Yeah, I saw that cop end. Pulev's suspensions have been lifted. Justice has been served. And Pulev can get about his career. And hopefully now he can stay active. Dave gets dazzled Allen. Yeah, exactly. Mike Lee reminded me of Luke Rockhold from the UFC. Yeah, Mike Lee, for me, Mike Lee looked like a golfer. You know, he looked like he belonged on the PGA Tour, not in a boxing ring. Maybe a fucking water polo player or something. I don't know, but he's not a boxer. He was awful. He was really, really poor. Yeah, that can't be true, Levi. No, it's not true. Andre Durrell's no, hang on. Andre Durrell versus Arthur Abraham. You can't be serious. You can't be serious. You're trolling, surely. I'd watch it, I guess, but like, what's the point? Andre Durrell is washed, as is Arthur Abraham. The most pointless rematch of 2019, Abraham Durrell. Lucas Brown versus Tom Little. It's fight week. Tom Little could win, man. He could win. Hang on. Yeah, Coppin '09. Glad Allen lost after him, Barker, and Kevin Mitchell talked shit about Tunde's tippy tappy pads. Hopefully we won't hear from that bum Barker again. Yeah, I'm not sold on Darren Barker as like a trainer or a motivator or anything like that. You know, I don't really like him as a commentator either. Seems like a nice guy, but yeah, I'm not the biggest believer in Darren Barker. Let's put it that way. ABC Def. Omnisurge Media, Akole versus Makabu. Who would you pick? Tough fight. Tough fight. Maybe Akole could tie Makabu up and mess him around to a points decision. But I mean, Makabu can crack, and he's very experienced. I don't know, you know. It'd be a massive step up. It'd be a huge step up. Coppin '09, did you see Cassius Chaney knocking out a pudding out of a ring over the weekend? No, I heard about it though. I've seen a bit of Cassius Chaney, and I've got to say I don't really rate him. Never really been sold on Cassius Chaney. He's been dropped and hurt by Journeyman. You know, I know he's been around a bit in terms of sparring some good fighters, but never really impressed me from what I've seen. But I think he's like 16-0 now though, so he's getting a padded record, but he's not fought anybody yet. Azzy David the Executioner Price, beautiful. Darren Sergio Garcia is just a stepping stone for Ted Barker. Yeah, man, how wrong was he? How wrong was he? And I'm hearing, well, I think McGregor might have said this, rumours of Sergio Garcia versus Liam Smith on the undercard of Loma versus Campbell. That'd be a good fight. I would take Sergio Garcia to beat Liam Smith, but Liam Smith is certainly a step up for Sergio Garcia. I think that's an ideal fight for Sergio Garcia right now, if I'm being honest. I think that's a good fight for Sergio Garcia. And if Liam Smith were to beat him, then at that point, in my opinion, he would have earned another title shot. Yeah, ABC, golf is terrible. Golf is pretty poor. I don't understand golf. I mean, even playing it, man, it's not for me. I've tried it, and yeah, not for me. Not for me. Ben Haynes on Shane McGuigan's Twitter, Dell. You see the pic of Ellie Goulding with Luke Campbell. Nah, don't mind a bit of Ellie Goulding. She's all right, you know. She's all right. Levi Khan, has anybody seen Gervonta Davis's opponent, Ricardo Nunes from Panama? I've not seen him. Well, I've not seen him yet. I've not done any scouting, but I've spoken to people who have seen him, and they say he's pretty poor. And Gervonta Davis should win this fight easily. So there we go. I've not really got too much, faith in him. Put it that way. Not really got too much faith in him. Let me have a look at this Twitter pic. Ben Haynes, he's putting things out there, and now for the chat's sake, I need to analyze this picture and give you my thoughts. What's this about? Let me have a look. What's the dude's name? Shane McGuigan, isn't it? Shane McGuigan. 1 second, lads. For fuck's sake. I thought it was going to be saying scantily clad or something. Nah, that's disappointed, man. I'm disappointed. Policeman Prawn, golf is a luxury sport. The appeal is not the actual game, but that you are well off enough to play golf. Yeah, that's a good point, It's a good point. Anybody seen much of Yves Ngabu? Will Okoli beat him for the Euro belt? It's a tough fight. I've seen bits and bobs, and I know he's now with the Ingles. He's a good mover. He's a good outboxer, but I think stylistically he's a tough fight for Okoli. If I'm being honest, if he can draw Okoli's lead, make him miss, make him chase the fight, could be an interesting one. But Okole's so physical. He's so big. He's so long. I think it would be a horrible fight to watch. If I'm being honest, I think it would be a horrible fight to watch. Ronald Gavriel versus Vaughan Alexander this weekend. Okay, yeah, that's an okay fight for fringe contenders. I think Gavriel should beat Vaughan Alexander, to be honest with you. But it's a decent enough fight. It's a decent enough fight. Levi Khan. Now this is an interesting one. Could Tevin Farmer actually lose to old man Frenoir this weekend? Let's not forget, Farmer got shot last year and has 4 losses, so he's not invincible. Frenoir, in my opinion, he beat John O'Carroll, and I felt he won that fight fairly clearly. It was one of those fights that was clear but competitive. I felt Frenoir outboxed O'Carroll, and I think he'll give Farmer a few problems. Like somebody in the chat earlier mentioned, I think he could make Farmer look bad, but ultimately, yeah, I believe Farmer wins the fight on points. Yeah, Levi, and Gamboa's fighting Roman Martinez. I mentioned that earlier in the stream. That fight is like a throwback from like 2010 or something. That's a fight that should have really happened years ago. Could be a good fight, I guess, considering where both guys are at in their careers. Could be a good fight. ABC Def. George Groves said he's got no doubt that Lomachenko loses to Luke Campbell. Well, George Groves, I'm sure he's going to say that because Luke Campbell was his stablemate. Maybe he's on the source. I don't know, but yeah, I don't see how he can be sure. But there we go. There we go. Yeah, ABC. Akole versus Ngabu could be a horrible fight. I can't see it being a good fight. I really can't. No, I'm sorry. That's going to be a shit fight. A good test, but a really bad fight. Levi Khan, Robbie Davis Jr. versus Sander Martin this weekend for the Euro title. Good fight. I'm picking Davis. Is that this weekend? I didn't even realise that. I know he was supposed to fight Sander Martin, but I didn't think it was ever official. Robbie Davis Jr. Now he's scheduled to fight on the 2nd of August, but it's against TBA. Yeah, Levi. He's scheduled on that card, but it's showing TBA at the moment. Ben, hang on. Sorry, yeah, Ben Haynes. For the record, I know Lomachenko beats Campbell. I just don't know if he'll finish him. Plus the dodgy scorecards in London. Yeah, that's a factor. It is away from home, and in Luke Campbell's home country. So scorecards could be a bit of a worry. But I expect Lomachenko to win clearly enough to win this fight on points. Maybe a late stoppage. I certainly believe it's a tougher proposition than Anthony Crolla. You know, Campbell, he's basically, consensus top 10 lightweight. I think he's third rated in the Ring magazine, highly rated in the WBC. He's a genuine top 10 contender. Southpaw, tall, rangy, seems to be getting better. It's a good fight. It's a solid fight. Levi Khan, does Rose pull the upset and beat Fowler? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Brian Rose has seen better days at this point. I think he's way past his best. I think he's way past his best. I'd imagine Fowler grinds him down for a late stoppage. Maybe points, but I'd lean towards Fowler late stoppage in that one. I think Fowler's going to have way too much physicality for Brian Rose now. Yeah, Ben, you're right. Campbell looked quite good in the Mendy rematch. He boxed well. Levi Khan. Martin Bacole fighting a taxi driver this weekend. Pereira taking sick time from work for this. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, Pereira's an okay journeyman. He's okay. And he could actually give Bacole a few issues, but we expect Bacole to win. Well, I do anyway. I expect Bacole to win. Ben Haynes, Campbell, Shaggy, Nelly, Golding. Fair play to him if he is. Can't get mad at that, man. I can't hate on him for that. Yeah, Luke Keeler versus Luis Arias. Very good fight. Very good fight. I like that fight a lot, actually. Arias is good at a certain level. He's not world level, but he's a tough dude who is durable, who comes to fight. And Keeler, good boxer, coming off some good wins. Should be a good fight. Should be a good fight. On the Surge Media, Campbell seems like a jab cross type fighter to me. Not much depth to his combinations. Yeah, yeah, I can see what you mean. I can see what you mean. He does like all the basics quite well, but there's not too much variety there. But he's fairly accurate. He's fairly precise, and he picks his shots well. I think that's where his strength lies. Really, I think that's where his strengths lie. Levi Khan, what's up with Cody Davis? He's a beast. I think he had a bit of personal problems. I think um I think his sister may have passed away a few months back, or something like that. Something went on in his personal life, and he was out of the ring for quite some time. But it appears he's now back to normal and fighting again. I know the board ordered Zach Chelly versus Cody Davis. That would have been a really good fight for both guys. I would have taken Cody Davis, but apparently Zach Chelly pulled out of those that purse bid. Shame. Yeah, MB, Paddy Gallagher, Chris Jenkins for the Commonwealth welterweight belt. That's a really good fight. Chris Jenkins really impressed me last time out against Garton. Really good boxing display. I would make him favourite, but Paddy Gallagher, he's a solid guy. He gave Brad Solomon a really hard fight about 12 months ago. It's a good fight. It's a good fight. Andre Berto versus Miguel Cruz in 2 weeks. Good fight for the OG Berto. Yeah, Berto should win that fight. Miguel Cruz got washed by Josecito. So listen, leave Andre Berto should win. Berto the GOAT. What's up, D? How you doing, man? Yeah, Berto. What rumor did I hear the other day about Berto? What rumor was it? Yeah, I heard a rumor about Berto versus Danny Garcia. Hopefully that ain't true. Hopefully that's not true. Is Brad Solomon still boxing? I'm sure he is. Let's have a look. I'm sure I saw his name the other week somewhere. Let's have a look. I used to rate that dude, Brad Solomon. Thought Brad Solomon could go a little way, but never really panned out. Brad Solomon, here we go. Brad Solomon. No, he's not boxed since that Gallagher fight. That was April 2018. Copendo 9, did you watch Ultimate Boxer? Good stuff. No, I heard it was very good. I heard it was really good. I picked Lowell to win. I'm not really surprised he won it. But yeah, I heard it was a good show. I heard it was a good show. Yeah, Levi Khan, man, that's a joke. Marcus Brown versus Jean Pascal. Yeah, Jean Pascal still somehow getting these big fights. I wasn't really impressed when he fought Bivol. You know, this is even worse. This is months down the line. You know, Jean Pascal has nothing left. He's really got nothing left at world level, and he's cashing in now on his name value, I guess. And it's a shame because I really liked Jean Pascal. He was a good fighter back in his day, and you know he fought everybody, Jean Pascal, and he always gave it a go. Got a lot of time for Jean Pascal, but he should really hang him up now. He should really hang him up. Okay, Levi Khan. Brad Solomon works as a school compliance police officer. Couldn't make enough money boxing, sadly. He was a talent. Yeah, I thought Brad Solomon was a good talent once upon a time. I felt he was a good talent. Yeah, Ben Haynes. Pascal was a warrior, man. He fought everybody. He fought everybody. Dawson, Hopkins, Froch, Kovalev twice, Bivol, Diakanu, Butte. I mean, the dude fought everybody. The dude fought everybody. Like I liked Jean Pascal a lot. D says, I want to see Manny versus Maidana. Heyman needs to pay Chino to make it happen. Yeah, that would actually be a really good fight. There was talk of that years ago, man. And I thought back then that would be a fun fight. Yeah, that'd be a great fight. I think Maidana now would be shot to bits. But if he had anything left, it'd be a really good fight. Anybody see the Mayweather channel on YouTube getting their priorities right this weekend? Perving on Figueroa's sister. I've not seen it, man, but I need to check her out. Let's use Google. Let's have a little Google. Omar Figueroa. I was pleased Ugas won that fight as well, to be honest with you. Let's have a look. Hang on, we're going to watch it on a YouTube. Hang on, 1 second, lads. Due to research purposes, we will have a break. Yeah, she's nice, you know. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, she's elite, you know. Jesus. Yeah, definitely, 100%. 100%. It's a great shout, Cop End. Conquest got KO'd in a minute by Rashian Erlington, who had one knockout before that. Conquest never really had the best chin, to be honest. Never really had the best chin. But yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised Lawal won it. He was my pick going into it. James DeGale's sister's very hot. Yeah, she is, man. She's nice. James James DeGale's sister's nice. Definitely one of the fitter female boxing personalities, I guess. She's nice. I'll tell you who is overrated though, and a lot of people rate her, but Eubank Junior's sister. I think she's overrated. You know, the one who's with Frank Smith. Not for me, man. Not for me. Tad overrated as far as I'm concerned. Maybe that's just me though. But yeah, Omar Figueroa's sister, you know, she is nice. 1 second, lads. Let me just get rid of that shit. There we go. Omnisurge Media. Female boxing is overrated. Mate, I totally agree. It's not for me, to be honest with you. It just all seems a little forced. Just seems forced. Every big card now seems to have a female fight on it, especially in the UK. This weekend was actually one of the first, well, from what I can remember, where a female fight hasn't been on one of these big pay-per-view undercards, which was good. I'm not a big fan of female boxing. And my whole thing is, listen, they keep on trying to push it, they keep on trying to champion it. I tell you what, why not do an all-female card on Sky Sports on a Saturday night in a decent sized venue? Put your money where your mouth is. Let's see what the viewing figures are like. Let's see what the live gate is like. You know, there's a reason these women are mostly on these undercards because there's not much interest. And my theory is women are getting put on these undercards because they're cheaper. Ultimately, they're cheaper. I mean, let's say you've got a big card and you put a female world title fight on the undercard. You can market it and say, oh, we've got world title fights on the undercard, but it's a female fight where you're paying them a lot less. You know what I mean? It's bullshit in my opinion. Yeah, it's bullshit. Bullshit. Yeah, Azzy, that's what I'm saying though. Like female MMA is good. It's good. And I'm not sure why that is. I'm not sure why female boxing isn't taking on. I'm not sure. But the growth of female MMA just seemed a bit more natural, I guess. Boxing, it just seems to be forced. Seems to be forced. Azzy. Oh dear. Yeah, Omnisurge Media, an all-female pay-per-view card would bomb. Yeah. Oh, sorry, just sorry, an all-female card would bomb. Yeah, exactly. Azzy, women are cheap. Dell Boy 2019. Some are more than others. D, Let's have Figueroa's sister versus Benavidez' mum naked on pay-per-view. Listen, man, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining with that. Yeah, exactly, Ben. There's more good female MMA fighters: Nunes, Shevchenko, Joanna Janjacek. Yeah, exactly. But even in terms of like talent, as in like looks, female MMA fighters look better for the most part. You know, they look better, in my opinion. Clarissa Shields said she could KO Thurman. Oh, Christ. Oh, dear. I'm sure I saw her call out, was it Amanda Nunes? Bruv, you can call out Amanda Nunes, but she's a bigger star than you. So fight her in the cage. I'd watch that shit. Amanda Nunes versus Clarissa Shields in a cage. Bro, Clarissa Shields will get killed. And by the way, that Amanda Nunes, by the way, if she isn't on steroids, I'm a fucking Dutchman, honestly. Jesus Christ, she's a fucking tank. Crazy. MB, I saw your. Hang on one second, mate. I saw your earlier comment in regards to Quigley. Yeah, I saw Quigley. Not surprised out of a result, to be honest with you. Not surprised. The only thing I was questioning was whether Turiano Johnson had anything left. I said on the stream, because I done a stream on the night of the fight just before it started, and I said if Johnson had anything left, Quigley's in for a tough night. And yeah, I'm not surprised he lost. Didn't really rate Quigley. Never really impressed me. Never impressed me. Exactly, Ben. Nunes KO'd a former women's boxing champion, Holly Holm. Bring it on, yes sir. Get Clarissa Shields in that cage with Amanda Nunes. Nunes, bigger star. Shields, get your ass in that cage. There you go. Put your money where your mouth is. Levi Khan, Hellenius versus Ustinov has to happen next. Or Hellenius versus Duhaupas. Yo, Ustinov, man, he is washed. So's Hellenius. Nah, man, nah. Maybe Hellenius versus Duhaupas, but I think Hellenius is done now. He could be a journeyman, but I think he's done. D. Nunes is roided out of his mind. Yeah, exactly. Insane. I fucking saw a picture of her. Like it was in like regular clothes, and she looked like, honestly, I'm not going to try and say derogatory terms to describe lesbians, but like she looked like the stereotype. Honestly, she was fucking wedge. She was fucking huge. Crazy, crazy. Levi Khan, Jesse Magdaleno versus Dogbay rematch coming in late 2019. MB says Dogbay needs an easy fight. I agree. If I'm managing Dogbay, I say to him, listen, man, you need more time off. Take the rest of the year off. Honestly, in 2020, have a couple of easy fights to begin the year, like low-level tune-up fights, and then maybe mid 2020 have another step-up fight and go from there. But I think the rebuilding job on Dogbay will be an extensive one. But yeah, I mean, Dogbay, he could be done. He could be shot. He took two beatings in both of those fights. He took two beatings, and the second fight was more one-sided. So Dogbay, it's a long road back, and I like Dogbay. I like his style, but I'm not really sure where his career goes now. Also, I heard he was moving up in weight. He was severely undersized against Navalete, so it's not looking good for Dogbay right now. It's really not. Yeah, I saw that, Levi. Virgil Ortiz versus Antonio Orozco in a few weeks. Decent step up. Yes, it is. Very good step up. Orozco, only one defeat, and that was to Jose Ramirez in a world title fight. He gave Ramirez a tough fight. Virgil Ortiz, to me, looks like a brilliant prospect. I think he's a level above Ryan Garcia, who's getting all the hype. In fact, I think he's a lot better than Ryan Garcia. He is the best prospect Golden Boy have right now. I may be tempted to say, no, I will say it, Virgil Ortiz is a better prospect than Teofimo. I think Virgil Ortiz is really good. I think he's really good. Very dangerous fighter, punching power, young, very good fighter. Yeah, Levi Navarrete is fighting Devaka in August. Yeah, I've never heard of the guy he's fighting, to be quite honest with you. I need to do some research if I get time to anyway. Ben Haynes. Nunes looks like a delivery man who delivers your package and needs a signature. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like fucking crazy. She's a tank. He's a tank. She's a tank. Omnisurge Media. Who would be a good step up for Ryan Garcia? Well, I presume he's fighting at lightweight now. That's what it looks like. If he's fighting at lightweight, someone like Yves, someone who's lightweight. Mendy. I think Mendy would be a good shout. The guy who inflicted Luke Campbell's first loss. Mendy, yeah, I think Mendy's a good shout. MB says Edna Cherry. That's a good shout. Azzy, it's a strap season for Lomachenko. Lopez, get a belt or shut up. Yeah, exactly. And I'm telling you now, yeah, Comey might knock him clean out. He might knock him out. Comey, if you're Richard Comey and you watch that fight, you're not going to be quaking in your boots. You're going to be very confident. Yeah, Nakatani, MB, he come to fight, man. Tall, lanky, rangy, gave Teofimo real problems, and I felt that fight was a lot closer than the cards had it. Levi says Zerdo Ramirez vacated. Why? What's his plan for campaigning at 175? I think he was just too big to make the weight at 168 because against Tommy Carpensi, he was huge, and that was at light heavyweight. Yeah, he was massive. He was close to 200 pounds, I think. He was in the 190s easily, and listen. I might be in the minority. I expect good things from Ramirez at 175. I think he'll surprise people. I really do. Nat and B, you're right. Yeah, Comey, he's not going to be quaking in his boots regardless. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But I'm just saying, like, Comey ain't going to be worried based on that performance. In fact, I'll probably favour Comey going into that fight. To be honest, I would like Comey to win. I think he's a just a class act out of the ring, but also in the ring, he's a very fun fighter to watch, and he'll fight anybody. Comey, he'll fight anybody. Yeah, he was big as he was like 190 or maybe just above 190. He's a big old dude. He's a big dude. Yeah, Matthias against Comey would be crazy. Yeah, that'd be mad. Because Comey, I'd imagine, is going to move up eventually. Because he's a big lightweight. He's a big old boy at lightweight. Hang on 1 second. Hang on. Omnisurge Media. Mendy and Cherry would put a hurting on Garcia, in my opinion. I think they're tough fights. I really do. Both guys are physical. Both guys are experienced. Both guys can bring the pressure. Yeah, Ryan Garcia would have his hands full there. But at the same time, they would tell us all we need to know. If Ryan Garcia could handily beat those guys, it's a good look. It really is a good look. Omnisurge Media. Top Rank needs to slow down on Teofimo Lopez. He needs more step ups and time to develop before he gets a shot at a belt. Do you know what, Omnisurge? I totally agree. I think they may have rushed it a bit too much. I certainly would like to see him take a couple more fights before he jumps into that kind of elite level competition. A couple more fights. But at the same time now, they've made their bed. They've talked their talk. They can't really back out now. They can't really back out. When these dudes are scoring these knockouts, it's all well and good. But once they start to struggle, reality starts to set in. But yeah, it wasn't a great performance from Tio. Coffin 09. Bob Arum hasn't got time to slow anybody down. Yeah, you're right. You're right. MB, that's a good shout, MB. Ryan Garcia, Stephen Smith. Yeah, that's a good shout. Who should Price fight next? Povetkin question mark. He deserves money. I reckon Price versus Dubois, to be honest. That's a fight I'd like to see. D, man. I mean, Arum, bruv, that guy. I mean, he's still going strong, man. Don't know how he does it. He's still going strong. He could be here in 10 years' time. Crazy, man. Crazy. He can't have long left, but you know, he's resilient. He really is resilient. Chris Hughes, Artur Beterbiev is fighting Vodzik. Yeah, I saw that. It's an amazing fight. It's an amazing fight. Somebody's getting knocked clean out in that one. Can't really see that going the distance, if I'm being honest. Can't see it going the distance. Yeah, what's up, Corey Lee? Yeah, MB. Bob's key to a long life is the blue cheese he smokes. Exactly. We can all learn something off Bob Arum. Fair play to him, man. Fair play to him. Price is a perfect tune-up for Dillian White. Yeah, he would be. He would be. Is Dillian White now going to actually risk that spot against elite level competition? He's now mandatory. He now has that interim belt. Is he really going to take any more tough fights until he gets a shot? Probably not. So in the meantime, you might see him fight guys like David Price, Gerald Washington, and people like that. Yeah, Corey Lee. Yeah, prayers for Maxi Dadashev. That was a brutal fight, man. Yeah, it was a crazy fight. But yeah, hopefully he can pull through. MB. I love Bob's attitude to life. He doesn't care anymore. He's got no filter. Yeah, Bob Arum now couldn't give a fuck. He really couldn't. Regardless, couldn't give a shit. he's got no, and like you said, he's got no filter at all. He's funny when he gets off in a tangent. He is funny. And listen, man, if he can get that Beterbiev Vodzik fight officially done, then fair play to him. Fair play to him. Lewis Hurley, Price would be a big underdog versus White, but it would be nice to see him get a big payday. Yeah, I would prefer Price stick around at domestic level, if I'm being honest. I think he would be a good test for Daniel Dubois, a good name for Dubois. And I'm sure he'd get paid quite well in that fight, David Price. So that's the fight I would like to see personally for David Price. I think that fight makes a bit of sense. Yeah, exactly, Azzy. Just stay busy for Dillian White. Fight some decent guys, but not like top guys, you know. But at the same time, it's Dillian White. Maybe he will fight somebody elite. I don't know. I don't know. I'd like to see him fight another elite guy, but I wouldn't blame him if he doesn't. Yeah, Corey Lee. I saw that on Dave Allen's Instagram after the fight. He was saying that he's been suffering a lot of headaches lately, and his health has been deteriorating due to boxing. If that's true, obviously that's not a good sign, and he should really consider retirement if that is the case. He should really consider retirement because he's taken some beatings already. The Ortiz fight, the Yoka fight, the White fight, the Price fight, even like the Bracamonte fight. He's been taking beatings, he's been taking punishment, has no defense, and he's not really going to get any better. So he's made a bit of dosh. Why not leave the sport intact or semi-intact? Sticking around for me would be a bit pointless for Dave Allen. Be pointless. But you know what fighters are like. Sometimes these guys stick around way too long. But I think that was Allen's big chance against David Price, and he blew it. I'm not sure whether I don't know. Like, I'm not sure whether Eddie Hearn would want to show Dave Allen anytime soon. To be honest with you, I mean, I don't know. Corey Lee boxing, Dave Allen versus Ortiz, Yoka. Just those two alone, yeah, could end your career. I think he should retire. Don't listen to Eddie Hearn. Allen seriously has no defense. Yeah, his defense is terrible. Dave Allen, he reminds me of that episode of The Simpsons when Homer becomes a boxer. That is what Dave Allen reminds me of. Homer Simpson blocking punches with his face, hoping the other guy gets tired, basically. But yeah, you're right. He's taken some beatings, and yeah, I think he needs to retire. Even his speech, in my opinion, has kind of got worse. Now, I've heard online that that was due to him splitting his tongue against Luis Ortiz, and he's never really sounded the same since. But I'm not so sure about that, man. I think this guy, he is starting to slur. He's starting to muddle up his words, I guess. And yeah, he might be worse for wears already. 2 weeks until Rebase Ramirez makes his debut. Can't wait. Yeah, cop end. Totally agree. Yeah, that's the thing. Ra Hauer Allen does have a big fan base, and I guess he can fight scrubs at medium-sized venues and kind of headline. Yeah, but like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think the Dave Allen train now has really kind of died. To be honest. Oh yeah, Azzy, don't get me wrong. Like Eddie Hearn, he's given Dave Allen some very good opportunities. It's got to be said. And a lot of times, Allen has added miles to the clock because he's not trained in certain fights. He's taken far too much punishment, and that's on him, basically. That's on him. Yo, Dan Mack, how's it going, man? Don Hearn as well. What's going on, Don Hearn? How you doing? Chisora versus Kaunatsky would be a very good fight. That's a good shout. That'd be a very good fight. Yeah, R.A. Howard. Yeah, it does come down to money. And listen, he's still got somewhat of a name value. He does. If Alan fights, which I think he should not, I could see Alan versus Manuel Char. I could see something like that. I could see something like that. But even Manuel Char, I think he would smash Dave Allen to pieces. Copendo 9. How did Fabio Wardley look? Do you know what? I didn't see him. I didn't watch him. I've missed that one. I heard he looked a bit dodgy, got hit a bit too much, but I've not seen it myself. Yeah, OmniSurge Media. Dave Allen is going to be used for prospects to be up on. Yeah, exactly. A tough journeyman who can go rounds. Yeah, I agree. I agree. He's going to be, well, if that's if he sticks around, of course. I think that's the role he would play, kind of like a journeyman. Well, that's what I heard, Dan Mack. Apparently, Dave Allen was out until half 2 on Friday night, getting drunk. And obviously, if that's true, that's not a good look. That really isn't a good look. He's denied it, but, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah, Lewis Hurley, man, I saw that on Twitter. Dave Allen fans thinking he could hang with Joyce or Gorman. Yeah, exactly. He would get smashed up by these guys, man. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. But yeah, his fans are encouraging him to take these type of fights and get himself knocked out. Get himself hurt, sorry. He might not get knocked out by all of these guys, but he'll get seriously hurt. I can tell you that much. Okay, Azzy, he says Wardley looked like an amateur. Yo, the Quags, what's going on, man? How you doing? Yeah, Lewis Hurley. Dave Allen, yeah, he's an okay dude, but some of his fans are terrible. Okay, Coppin 09. Fedor Chudinov just won, and Kingpin got outworked against a prospect. Okay. Unrivaled boxing talk and news. Dave will be back. I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong. I would like to see David Allen retire at this point. Hopefully he can walk away and go someplace else. Find a new avenue, I guess. Because boxing for me, he's going to end up in a bad state. But there we go. I guess that's his choice. Homer Simpson versus Jedrick Tatum. Yeah, exactly. That's what he reminds me of. Dave Allen. That's my favorite episode of The Simpsons. I don't even like The Simpsons, but no, good Quags. I'm pleased you're well. I'm glad you're well. I didn't even realise Trudinov was fighting today. I thought it was on like Sunday next week or something. Fair play. Also, the other Trudinov guy got knocked out this past weekend against the French prospect, like a light heavyweight prospect, Louis Totin. He actually got knocked out earlier in his career for prospect Totin, but he's come back now with a win over Chudinov. So Seymour says Tyson Fury is supposedly fighting Peter Milas. Really? Milas is a decent prospect, but he's really not got any elite wins yet. His best wins are Kevin Johnson and Pianeta, sorry. Nearly called him Pianata. Or Pinata, whatever the fuck it's called. Copindo 9, Ustinov, he fights on Wednesday. Jesus. Okay, but Jalolov does as well. I'm interested in Jalolov. Very good prospect. Yeah, Jalolov for me is like one of the standout guys at heavyweight in terms of prospects. I think he can go a long way. Tall, rangy, southpaw. Actually got decent speed for a guy that size. Power, amateur background. He's still fairly young. Yeah, I think Jalolov could be a problem in a year or two's time. He's staying relatively active as well, which is good. That's always the main thing with prospects. You look at guys like Ivan Dichko, who, great amateur background, very good technical boxer, but he's not active enough right now. So yeah, that's the main thing with these heavyweight prospects is activity for me. I agree, Lewis. I know it's not right morally for obvious reasons, but I want to see Fury fight Miller if the other options are Bryant and Millis. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What's up, Nordic? How you doing, man? Yeah, maybe if Ustinov and Jalolov are on the same card, maybe they're going to fight next. Maybe I don't know. I would certainly take Jalolov to smash Ustinov now. But yeah, maybe that's the route they're going down. Yeah, exactly. Unrivaled. Nandrolone versus HGH. Yep. Fury versus Miller. I mean, the whole heavyweight scene right now is just I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Tyson Fury, to be honest. He's just too much fun and games, too many antics. Just not for me. He's a good fighter, obviously, but it's just some of his some of his antics not for me. It's like with the Dave Allen thing as well. I got accused of being a Dave Allen hater for a long time, but just doesn't really appeal to me. Doesn't really appeal to me, that type of behaviour. It is what it is. Yeah, Nordic, that'd be a decent fight. Price versus Usanov. Somebody's getting knocked out. Corey Lee boxing breaking news. John Jones charged with battery of a woman at a nightclub. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that on Twitter earlier. Not surprised. John Jones, man, he just can't keep from fucking up. There's always something with John Jones. Just when you think he's on the straight and narrow, something else will come out. Yeah, as a Fury fans, they are unbearable at times. Yeah, fighting guys like Tom Schwartz, and they make out like he's fighting the cream of the crop. He's had one fight in 2019, and it was against Schwartz. So come on now, you can't keep living off that. Well, you can't live off that draw with Deontay Wilder, and you can't keep living off that win against Klitschko 4 years ago. Yeah, Nordic, I agree. Like antics and trash talk. I mean, it's all well and good if you're actually proving something and actually backing your words up. But these guys, like these days, they just act like prima donnas and just yeah, it's just not for me. It's not for me. We hear guys making excuses for why certain fights can't happen. You had Errol Spence say Terence Crawford was on the wrong side of the street and all that nonsense. It's just, uh, yeah, not for me. Not for me. And yeah, I like real fighters, Pacquiao, guys like that, exactly. Usyk. Chris Hughes, 32 and in a nightclub. I stopped going at like 21. Yeah, John Jones, he's Yeah, is John Jones 32? Seems like he's been around forever. Thought he's older than that, to be honest. Yeah, John Jones is a sociopath. There is something wrong with that man mentally, honestly. Just you can just tell by his aura, how he speaks, how he's I don't know, he's so fake. Yeah, he's he's a weird dude, man. He really is a weird dude. And by all accounts, a nasty piece of work. But again, I'm sure he'll get his eventually. Someone's gonna knock him out. Somebody will knock him out eventually or fuck him up. Yeah, the Quags. He literally looks like just I don't know, man. There's something wrong with that dude. Obviously, a very talented fighter in MMA, but yeah, not a great guy by any means. Not a great guy. Great fighter, but scumbag. But I guess combat sports has been filled with those type of people. Hang on, lads, 1 second. Lewis Hurley, if Jones moves to heavyweight, he'll definitely take an L eventually. But at light heavyweight, there's nothing for him. Yeah, his last fight was quite close against that Brazilian dude. Again, I'm a casual MMA fan. I don't really know what I'm watching, but I felt that was quite close. It was fairly competitive. John Jones didn't look that great in my opinion in that last fight. MMA is weird though, man. Like I enjoyed what was it the other weekend when Luke Rockhold got knocked out by the Polish dude. That was good. I enjoyed that. I can't stand that Luke Rockhold dude, man. I cannot stand that guy. So pleased he got knocked out. So pleased, man. And it's like I know Nordic mentioned it earlier about trash talk, and in the UFC, obviously you had Michael Bisping. That guy was like a proper trash talker. Some of the stuff he said was actually downright callous at times and absolutely disgusting. But at the same time, like at least that guy fought everybody. Like the guy pretty much fought everyone. So Minimax Boxing, what do you think about Israel Adesanya? He looks good, man. I really enjoyed his fight with Gastelum. That was a really good fight. That was one of my favourite um, fights of recent times, actually, in MMA. I don't really watch UFC or Bellator that regularly, but when I do, usually the big cards. Usually the big cards. Yeah, didn't Tiago damage his knee in that fight as well against John Jones? Something like that. Luke Rockhold went unconscious when he felt the gust of wind from the air conditioning vents. No chin. Yeah, his chin isn't great. Omnisurge Media. I just can't get into MMA. Yeah, it's one of those sports. Like I watch it. I watch like super big cards. Like if John Jones is fighting, if McGregor's fighting, I'll watch then. But usually I kind of give it a miss. To be honest, I like it more than I used to, but I still can't get fully invested in it. To be quite honest, I can't get fully invested in it. Dan Mack. Can't stand MMA. Men in tight shorts rolling around seems a bit homoerotic to me. Wish these guys would all come out. Yeah, the ground game is boring, Mini Max. I agree. Unless if somebody's getting like ground and pounded and smashed up, I like that. But like when they're just wrestling, it's boring as hell. Omnisurge Media, Kaunatski versus Ariola prediction. Mid-round knockout for Kaunatski. I think Ariola, listen, he'll come to fight. He's fairly tough even now, but he's past his best. Been through wars. And yeah, I've got Kaunatski by mid-round knockout, mid-round stoppage. Could be a fun fight while it lasts, though, I guess. Could be fun while it lasts. There we go. One second, lads. I'm going to wrap this up in a second. And yeah, Google Hangouts are nearly no more, unfortunately. That's going to be such a pain in the arse. It's going to be such a pain in the arse. Yeah, Minimax. Actually, funny you mentioned that. Virgil Ortiz mentioned it a bit earlier. He's fighting Antonio Orozco. First and foremost, that's a very good step-up fight. But I rate Virgil Ortiz very highly. I think he's a really, really good prospect. I think he's much better than Ryan Garcia, who they're trying to hype up. I think the real deal is Virgil Ortiz. I think that guy is going to go a long way. I think he's a really, really good talent. Puncher, he's sharp, he's quick. He's very young still. Really like him. Really good prospect. For Quags, you might not like it, but it's effective. What does it say about a man if he gets manhandled like a woman? Every man should know a little bit of wrestling. Yeah, I guess it's like boxing in a sense where like some people don't like a certain style, and I guess like wrestling is kind of similar in MMA. I know a lot of people don't like that side to the game, but yeah, it's not for me, man. It's not for me, bro. I liked what Masvidal did to Ben Askren. Wrestle that knee. That is beautiful, man. That's a lovely knockout. What's happening with Google Hangouts? Basically, it's being taken down. It's going to be no more. So going to need to find a new way to stream. Well, but I better do it. It'd be fine, but it's finding that new way. Yeah, Ben Haynes. I felt that fight was quite close, but I'm a casual MMA fan. I'm an actual casual. Sorry. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, the Quags. Don't really get wrestling over here in the UK though. It's not really a thing. Like high school wrestling, I mean, it's not really a thing. Yeah, Blacker Witch, yeah. Knocked out Luke Rockhold. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Anyway, lads, I am going to wrap this one up. Um I will I think I'll do a few more live streams until the 31st of August. Sorry, 30 no, it's last day of Hangouts is 31st of July or something like that. 30th of July, I don't know. But um yeah, I'll do a few more. But thank you guys for coming out. Um Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll read his last few comments. Um, you're a tall dude. You're a tall dude, Dell. You should do judo. Very effective. Yeah, I would like to try some more different martial arts. All I've really done is boxing. I can't lie. Done a bit of Muay Thai and a bit of kickboxing, but that's really it. Mainly boxing, though. Mainly boxing. Askren is a great wrestler, but it's MMA. He needs to work on his striking, not make it so obvious when he's going for a takedown. Yeah, exactly. Chris Hughes. Most people in the UK are going to sucker punch you anyway or stab you. Yeah, exactly. Jeff Horn versus Zarafa. Who have you got? Jeff Horn on points. Peace, Boundless. Peace, Lewis. Yeah, thank you guys for coming in, man. Thank you guys for coming in. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace.